Okay. I assume this is going to work now. This is attempt number 2 for video number 2 of 3 for this evening. This is request video. The request or the section of the comment that contains 3 requests pertaining to this particular request is as follows. Oh wait, no, this is actually the third. This is video number 2, but I think this is the third request in the comment. Um, Whoops. Well. Um, Random drops on glory kills I've done, but adding a very occasional power-up drop. That I'm struggling with. Just an idea. Thanks for upload. Well, you're welcome. This is from Hamlin Rye Janaski, as same as the last video I did. Okay, random drops on glory kills. He's done. I assume it's a male. Analytics tells me that it's less than 5% of my audience is female. Go figure. Alright, very occasional power-up drop. Alright, now, I've done this kind of thing before. I do not have a demonstration for this. It's kind of hard to demonstrate probability. I could set up a bunch of variables and stuff like that. If you want to see some of this kind of random action in play, check out one of my previous videos, player blinking or player camera, and then Perrin's blinking, which was also, I forget if it was a request or inspiration video. I think it was just inspired by someone else's comment. But someone else gets the credit for the idea, but there is some demonstration on how random stuff kind of works and how that plays out. But there's no demonstration for this, but I know it works because I've used it several times. And it's also very simple. I have 2 methods here. They're all spawning or diverging from this AI proxy. The right side is one method, the left side is another method. Kind of just whatever you want. If you already have a method in place for random drops or some sort of loot table or something, but you want to add a very rare drop or something like that, then what's on the right side will pertain to you. If you don't have anything at all, left side may be more to your liking. You could use a combination of the two. Whatever you want. They both work. They're both versatile. They both have their benefits and downfalls. As you can see, this uses a bit more. But if you wanted to get the same result as this, it would take a lot more here, but this is more easily manipulated than the left side to a degree. So, yeah. Anyways, here we go. Alright, AI proxy. This is drops on demon kills. You could do it on player kills, but who's really playing multiplayer on SnapMap? If you are playing multiplayer on SnapMap, let me know. I have some multiplayer maps up. I'd love to play with you. Anyways, here we'll yeah. Alright, on killed. I have the activator as a demon because I'm going to be spawning objects, power-ups specifically, as per the request. This is on glory kill. The right side is any cause of death. But the activator is demon because I want to spawn the object on the demon instead of giving it directly to the player, because what it tends to do is spawn in front of the player, kind of block your vision, look a little ugly, and then you pick it up a second or two afterwards. So if you just spawn it on the demon, then it looks more appropriate. The other stuff falls out, the armor pickups, health, ammo, whatever, if you have them turned on. And then some of the stuff may pop up at random. So, on killed, glory kill, whatever you want. Random relay. Signal random relay. I have 10 outputs here. You want to set this up to 1 signal count. Because there's 10 here, there's a 10% chance for any of them. You can choose unique outputs on. If you do, you're probably going to want to put this on as well. I'm not entirely sure if you have this on and this off, if once you get to the end of it, that's it. I assume that's the case. And of course you want run once off. Unless you don't. It's up to you. But yeah, 10% chance for any of these to occur. So what we've got here, I've got two of these actually doing something. So there's a 20% chance of something happening out of this first random relay, but then there's an 80% chance of absolutely nothing happening. Now this is where you would create a loot table. If you want to turn off the drops on kill or on glory kill or whatever it is, you can turn that off and you can add your own stuff. You can say, okay, well, here I want a 10% chance of dropping 5 armor, 5 health, 100 health, whatever you like. You could have a, well, you have demon activator. You'd have to set it to a player activator if you wanted to do modifiers, or you could use a cached object. Or if you're doing cooperative play, then you can use a player iterator, and you can, give everyone a 10-second boost to damage or something instead of using a quad damage pickup. Whatever you like. This is the foundation of a more complex loot table if you want one. I don't think it's really necessary, but if you've got some sort of really fucking cool map and you need a really fucking cool loot table, well, this is probably going to be the way to do it because you can work in tens if you want to. You can use just 5, and then you'd be working in 20% intervals. I don't know. But anyways, 10% chance for any of these. So, meaning if you come out of here, there's a 10% chance of this right here being selected. I have this coming to another random relay. Alright, and we've got 10 coming out of here. So 10% chance of this random relay with the same settings being signaled, meaning every signal coming out of this random relay, because there are 10, it is 1/10 of 1/10, so these are all 1% chances. Alright, you could hook up another random relay, just boop, stick that there, doop, stick that there, hey. Alright, and there you've got 0.1% chance of, if you have 10 coming out of here. If you only have 2, then you have a 0.5% chance. If you have 3, then it's 0.3% chance, so on and so forth. But anyways, this is a 1% chance here. These are all 10% chance. These are all 1% chance because they are 10% of 10%. Because there are 10 of them here. You can do the math. Anyways, so what I've got here, 10% chance. I'm not sure if that's rare enough, but you can do whatever you like. Just for this example, spawn object on activator, so it's the demon. The only other option is explicit location, and we don't want stuff just spawning right here. That would be weird, especially in this case. But you could do something like that if you wanted a secret power-up to pop up every once in a while in the center of a module, or something like that. That's all up to you. Again, you can always change this to the killer if you prefer it that way. I don't, so that's why it's set up this way. And here I just have a container. In this case, if you were doing like a time challenge or something, you could drop something that looks like a clock. You could use this clock model to add some time. You could use a drill for an insta repair or something if you're doing some sort of zombie type map. Briefcase if you're doing a lawyer simulator. I don't know. You could put these balls here. It can make you get hurt. You could use a player resource, whatever. Containers containers are good versatile objects. It just kind of sucks that the render models are just, they look cool, but they're really out of place when they spawn, especially like these crops. It'd be great if they didn't spin around. I assume they still do, um, but I could be wrong there. But they certainly used to, and it just looked stupid. So yeah, player resources, whatever you want. You get the idea. But then here we have 10% chance for a random relay with 10 coming out. So these are 10% of 10%. Like I said, 1%. So there's a 1% chance of this output being selected, which will spawn on the activator, in this case being the demon. And this is going to spawn a power-up. In this case, it's quad damage. So as per the request, a rare power-up dropping from a kill, glory kill, and it will drop on the demon. This is a 1% chance for, and you could totally remove that and only have this being the only additional method. That's a little clunky for just adding one thing, but you could certainly do that if you want to. Yeah, 1% chance for a quad damage to drop, or regeneration, demon rune, berserk, that sort of thing. So there's that. I mean, that's super simple. I've used that and actually connected everything. So there's, I hooked up like every weapon, every grenade, stuff like that, for a very old map, player versus demon arena. Still holds pretty well, I think. Some custom modifiers, things like that. I actually have a random weapon box that uses a very similar setup to this. It actually loops back around, having a random relay plug into a random relay, plugging into another random relay, which has a chance to come back around and plug into the initial random relay to give it a second shot. Hello. Right side of this AI proxy, this is the second method. In this case, I am using any cause of death. Activator still demon, so anything that drops will be on the corpse. What we're doing here is setting, we had to create a random or a new integer, and I'm using 1 to 10,000. It can be whatever. It doesn't really matter as long as this random number is within that max range, and these comparators are also within that range, or within the range of the random number. Otherwise, they just won't work. So we are setting a random integer. This is the first node that I hooked up after this on killed, so it technically will get set before anything else, but I still put a 0.1 second delay on this just in case if there's a lot of other stuff going on. It's generally a good idea just to put a slight delay to make sure that that random number has been assigned before anything else happens. So what I've got here, this is set up in series because I only have two things. You can set up a bunch of things parallel, test a bunch of things at the same time if you want to. It gets kind of sloppy. It's a little bit better to say have an integer compare, if less than 10, then do this, else do this, else do this, else do this, and go down a line until you hit something. That way you don't have a bunch of stuff trying to test at once. It could get a little choppy. So all I'm doing here for this example, I am checking this random for loot, which is this integer here, against 1000. Alright, and this random number can be anything between 1 and 1000, meaning that there's a 0.1% chance of any number being selected. So this is a 0.1% chance of this occurring. If it is equal, then we are spawning a quad damage. This is 10 times less likely than this setup over here, but we could drop this down to 100 and set this to 100. Then it would be the exact same probability as over here. But this is a more rare setup. If you like, you could just set up another random relay in this setup. The exact same thing here, just continue it on, and then you'd have 1 in 1000s. So spawn object at activator, quad damage in this case. You can put whatever you like. So that will happen. But if it is not equal to 1000, if this random number was not assigned or was not set to 1000, then it will come through and test this. And this is just checking to see if it is at least 950. So if it's between 950 and 999, because it can't be 1000, otherwise it wouldn't come to test the second compare. So that is a 0.5% chance because it includes 950. So 950 to 999, that's 50 different numbers. It's out of 1000. 0.5% chance of that occurring, it being a number above 950. And again, you can use whatever numbers you want. You can do the math yourself. And in this case, I'm just spawning a mega health. You could do whatever you want. You could just play a sound. You could end in victory. You know, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But that's how that works. You could continue this chain on and say if it is less than that, then you can come through and maybe flow and integer compare and test that. I'm not going to clean this up a whole lot, but you can just continue on like that and say if equal to, or you know, whatever you want to do. In this case, you would do if greater than or if at least 900 or 850 or 750. It will disclude anything that was previously covered in these other comparers. So that's another reason why you want to do it in series as opposed to in parallel, because you can, each step you can eliminate one thing you're checking for. It just makes it a little bit easier and makes sense logically. So yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty straightforward. Like I said, I don't have a demonstration for this because it's a little difficult to actually show how this is working in the background without setting up a bunch of stuff and potentially sitting here for several hours trying to get something to trigger. And as anybody who watches any of my videos knows, I don't do any post-processing. So I wouldn't want to go and cut video and stuff like that. So you get what you get. It's real simple. I know it works. I don't have to test it. This is very simple. It's very straightforward. Two separate methods that can be used in tandem. They can be used independently of one another. They can be used with a Boolean filter somewhere if you want one to apply during a certain event and one to apply during another, or in certain modules, or during mini boss fights, something like that. You could have a 10% chance of, you know, something dropping. Then you could even have a persistent integer that says, okay, well, the player played previously in the last map, they beat this boss and got an epic drop, so carry it on to the next map. You know, whatever you want to do, but there it is, as requested. Rare, power up, drop, and whatever else you want to do. So yep, there it is. That's it. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you haven't already if you want to, leave me a comment, send me some more requests. I'm having a lot of fun with these, getting them done. I have some other stuff that I'm kind of working on in the background, but I get kind of dissuaded and just want to go do something else for a little while. So, but I'm working on some pretty cool stuff. So maybe I'll put out some stuff here before too long and actually have some really, really, really cool stuff to showcase and you know, just let you guys see and tinker with or whatever. But yep, that's it. I'm ending the stream. Again, thanks for watching and bye bye.